You slammed that pie in my face like it was a slap in the face.
I haven't done it recently, so I don't really know how hard to go.
Lucinda, get her off my screen. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie, for those who don't know me, reviewing Love Island All-Stars Season 3, Episode 22. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, hype up the video, and leave a comment down below. Woo! The girlies were mad yesterday. If you were mad yesterday, you're gonna be infuriated today. I'll tell you that for free. I will tell you that for free because I'm doubling down on everything I said. I'm doubling down. In the morning, we have Sammy and Kieran, who are very bashful. When they come back from the hideaway, they're asked what was going on and they refuse to answer. Oh, okay. Then we have Scott, who checks in on Cher. He tells her that he likes a woman who's able to take risks in the way that she did. And I'm like, Scott, sweetie, it's not looking good. You need to check on Leanne too. Because if Leanne is your priority, you do need to show that. And in the last few days, you're not really showing that. However, I do not blame him. I'm sorry. After Leanne's reaction to certain things, I don't blame him for not being keen to run to her first because, quite frankly, it's exhausting. Sorry, it is exhausting. I do like them together. I wish things weren't going down the way that they are, but yeah, I'm kind of over the connection, really. I am. Everyone in the villa is realizing Scott might be more open than he was maybe making it seem, because at first Scott would be like, yeah, I'm open, but it would take a really, strong connection with somebody else to trump whatever I have with Leanne right now. But it does seem like Cher has a bigger chance than he's trying to make it seem, right? Then Leanne is like, you know what? I did want to test, but this is not the test that I was looking for. Girl, duh.
Yeah, I spoke to him yesterday and he was like shocked.
I don't think he was shocked.
Doing theatrics of the vibe, it's like,
He's standing on the fact that, yes, because we're open, that's fine. I just always have to ask myself, would my husband put me in these positions?
I won't say write it off.
No, don't write it off.
The test Leanne really wanted was communication. Everything was peachy keen, vibes. The foundation was weak though. It was just, we like each other's company. Respectfully, that's not enough. Especially if she's gonna turn around and say, when I think about it, would my husband be putting me through the... We're already that far. Whoa. We're already saying, would my husband put me in situations like this? My girl is gone. Homegirl is gone, which is all the more reason why she just needs to put her foot down. I'm sorry. I know some of you guys are like, well, she can't do that. Well, then she also should stop sulking, respectfully. If she's not going to put her foot down, then I'm tired of the sulking. I am. And here's the thing with the whole putting your foot down, right? Because some of you guys are like, Leanne has been super clear. She has not. When he says he's open, what does she say? Yeah, I understand that. When he was like, when they were rehashing the whole, would you leave if I was leaving? She was like, I would have never put you in that position to leave anyways. Which you would then assume if other people come, he would be allowed to explore, because if you were not here, he'd be doing that anyways. So I'm just like, yeah, she expresses that she doesn't like the situation, but she's not telling him what she requires from him until today. But before today, she was not telling him, this is what I need from you. Because there literally was a time when he was like, so do you want me to close things off? She's like, no, I'm not telling you to do that. That's clear to you guys? If that's clear, I'm scared. If that's clear, I'm scared. There is miscommunication on both sides regarding this couple. I don't think that Scott is being as candid as he should be regarding how much of a chance he wants to give to Cher and how ill-prepared he is to close things off with Leanne right now. But I also think Leanne is still trying to be cool with the situation, even though she's expressing she doesn't like it. She's still trying to be cool with it. Tell the man, if you're not gonna close off with me, that's it. Honestly, shout out Ella, because Ella went to Ty, she said, shut it down. Shut it down. And sure enough, what did Ty have to do? If Ty wants to be with this girl, he's gonna have to shut it down. Like, that's just how life works. You can set your boundary and you say, if you wanna be with me, these are the rules of the game. You could choose to play, you could choose not to play. So I feel like at this point, Leanne has to outline the rules and then leave Scott to choose if he wants to play or if he wants to go somewhere else. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. Snog, marry, pie. Whew, guys, that was a long one. Took up majority of the episode, but here we go. So Whitney snogs Yaman, marries Scott, and pies Jack. And even before, when she was about to snog, she like almost went to him. She's like, not kissing you. I was like, oh yeah, rub it in. Rub the salt in the wound. I love it. Then we have Sammy, who snogs Kieran, marries Tommy, and pies Scott. Although it looked like she was going to go for Lucinda. I was like, girl, you should have done it, because the way this episode ended, whew, you should have given Lucinda the business. Kira snogs Curtis, marries Jack, and pies Tommy hard. Millie snogs Zach, marries Kieran, and pies Curtis because she wanted to just really drive the point home that there's nothing there. She wanted to drive that point home, okay? Remember that. And honestly, too, I wonder if what I heard about these games is true, because people come off of Love Island and they say in a lot of these games, the choice you make is predetermined. So even if you want to change your mind, it's almost as if you have to stick with who you said you were going to pick before the game started. But this time around, it seemed like people wanted to do something and then decided to do something else last minute. So I wonder if that theory is true. And if it is true, then these people went rogue. And I'm like, that's interesting. But just remember, Millie wanted to drive the point home to Curtis that it is donezo. All right. Next was Cher. She snogs Scott, marries Jack, and pies Kieran. Imani, snogs Connor, marries Tommy, and pies Jack because she's like, you know what? Whatever we had is done. Jack, you really missed out. Twice. Next is Helena. She snogs Carrington, marries Tommy, and pies Belle because she's like, I don't want to be in this triangle. Is the triangle in the room with us? Okay. Belle snogs Scott. So you guys with the theory that Belle has a thing for Scott, you might be onto something. Okay. She snogs Scott. She marries Kieran and she pies Sean, obviously. Leanne snogs Yaman. I was shocked by that. I was. I get why she didn't want to kiss Scott, but I was like, Yaman. Well, look at the options. You know what, Leanne, it makes sense. You know what, on second thought, I hear you, sister. Then she marries Jack and pies Scott because she doesn't want to be in triangles. Now, at this point in the episode, I was like, respectfully, if this man don't want to fool with you afterwards, you're just going to have to eat that. You're just going to have to eat that. Because on the one hand, when she goes back to the girl, she's like, oh, it's just a game. Cool. But then when the guys have their turn and Scott does what he does, she's like, see, that's why I did it. See? So, again, with the mixed messaging. Lucinda snogs Sean, marries Curtis, and pies Sammy because she thinks Sammy was way too opinionated when it came to the whole Sean and Lucinda situation. Then we have Tommy, who snogs Sammy, marries Belle, and pies Sean. I also loved that they were able to pie anybody. Yeah, let's keep this going. I love this. Scott snogs Leanne, marries Cher, and then this is where Leanne is like, see, that's why I did it. He gave her a nice speech, but then I'm like, okay, was he supposed to be rude? Like, what? That's what I don't understand. Like, okay, I'll talk about it at the end. I'll talk about it at the end. And then what else did he do? He pies Sean, obviously. Zach snogs Millie, marries Sammy, and pies Curtis because he doesn't want to be in a triangle. Kieran snogs Sammy, marries Belle, and pies Lucinda, who says she actually was expecting him to put more like power in the smash. And I'm like, ooh. Yeah, so you must know that your reckoning is coming. But also, he could not do that. He could not hit you any harder than he did, or it would have been a problem. Then we have Connor, who snogs Imani, marries Leanne, and pies Whitney. Makes sense. Yaman snogs Whitney, marries Belle, and pies Connor. Curtis snogs Millie. Curtis snogs Millie. So I'm here thinking, okay, is this one of those situations where the the decision of who you wanted to kiss, I don't know why my computer is tripping right now. The decision of who you wanted to kiss was already set in stone. Because then I would understand, okay, he already wanted to kiss Millie, but then also, why do you still want to kiss Millie after everything she said to you, sir? It's getting weird. No, it's been weird. It's been weird. Nah, man, Millie needs to do something about this. Production needs to do something about this. This is getting out of hand, okay? Then he marries Kira. Where am I? He marries Kira, and then he pies Zach. And his response is because Zach stole his girl. This man still is unable to give Millie autonomy. Like, it's out of the realm of possibility for Millie to decide for herself that she does not want to pursue Curtis for whatever reason. It could be that she doesn't like his haircut. It doesn't matter. The reason is the reason. Curtis, are you okay? Something must have, some screw must have fallen out from the last time that we saw this man, because I'm concerned. Genuinely, I'm concerned. And then can you imagine in bed, Kira is still making out with this man after Carrington snogs Helena, marries Whitney, and pies Belle. Jack snogs Cher, marries Belle, and then he tried to pie Cher again. And it's like, well, that's not how the game goes. So then he tried to pivot to Whitney, and Whitney's like, hey, I'm not gonna get your scraps. So then he lands on, I think it was Millie. He lands on Millie, and I'm like, again, this is one of those things where I'm just like, did you know what you wanted to do beforehand, and then you tried to go rogue here? I don't know. I'm here with the conspiracy theorists of the games in Love Island right now. I don't know. That's just on my mind heavy. But anyways, moving on. Sean snogs Lucinda, marries Millie, and aggressively pies Scott. So after the game, we have Sammy, who's annoyed with Lucinda because she feels like she's been very caring regarding the whole situation. She's like, yeah, I was calling her out on how she was going about it because it wasn't going to be a good look for her or for Sean regarding Belle, but I still was supporting it at the end of the day, which she was. She absolutely was. She was like, if you have a good connection, I'm not going to fault you for wanting to pursue that. I just think that there are better ways to do that. What's wrong with that? There's some kind of energy between these girls that, I don't know, maybe they just need to duke it out or something. Bring in Love Island games where they have that, the challenge in the ring where you get to, what is it? It's like a punching bag and you like hit each other. Bring that, because these two just need to duke it out. Oh my gosh. Later in the episode, Lucinda says that the reason why she pied Sammy was to prove to her that she's serious about Sean. Let's just see it. You don't have to do that. Like, Lucinda, anyway, she a bird. Let's move on. Then we have Jack, who takes Cher for a chat to explain why he was kind of pussyfooting around the whole who am I gonna pie.
I think I'm just a little confused.
I apologize. I thought it would just be a bit of crack.
I get the game. I understand I upset you. I'm not the kind of person to get even. The sake of the game, then it's fine. Yeah. Honestly, I was like, if he doesn't marry me or kiss me, I'm really going to be upset.
I know.
Cher claims that she would have been annoyed if Jack didn't pick her for either snog or marry. Right. She also claims that Jack and Scott are on even playing field right now, and she's gonna give them both a chance. Right. I don't know who's buying. Well, it's Jack. I was gonna say, I don't know who's buying the fact that she's into Jack, but baby girl, let it go. Even when she's talking to Jack, it looks like she would rather be counting the sand. She would rather be counting sand. In the evening, Leanne is still irritated by all that's transpired. And honestly, and as much as I do believe her feelings are valid, don't get me wrong, I do understand the hurt, the frustration, all of that. I'm just over the saga.
Not only did he marry her, but he gave the best speech possible. Yeah. Kissing him, almost enabling the situation.
Oh, fuck's sake.
I feel great. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Am I bugging out or what?
No, you're not bugging out.
Am I actually bugging out?
Being an intellectual is like the sexiest thing anyone can have.
I mean, I appreciate that.
Don't forget, I think you're a 10 right now. You're probably a 7.
I think the damage is done. I honestly think the damage is done at this point. If they rekindle, it might be on the outside. I have zero faith that it'll happen while they're still on the show. Just because, I don't know, maybe they need to decompress. Maybe they need to watch it back. Like, a lot of miscommunication. I'm glad she even called that out too. I'm like, oh, so you guys are aware. Okay. All right. So you guys know that something's off here. She goes to the makeup room. She comes out. She sees that Scott and Cher are having a conversation. She's irritated, like very pissed off. And I'm thinking, girl, again, if you were just to hear the conversation, you would not be spiraling right now. It is not overly flirtatious at all. And the flirting is coming more from Cher than it is from Scott. We know that Scott can be like very, you know, out there with the flirtiness. Yes, he tends to be dry and sarcastic and stuff, but when he wants to flirt, he can. He can lay it on thick. And with Cher, he hasn't done that. He hasn't done that. Even in this conversation, he's talking to her like this the whole time. I think Leanne prematurely counted herself out. Yeah, I think that was premature. I think it was premature. But anyways, they end up having a conversation, and yeah, this is where they're trying to finally get on one accord.
I just felt like I was like getting punished for getting to know someone. First person I pulled after that happened last night was you.
I don't think you're understanding how uncomfortable this is. How can it be normal when I'm literally seeing you with another girl?
You're my priority. You're still
But
that.
you can't say I'm your priority. Slept in a bed with her last night.
Through no fault of my own.
I'm not saying it's your fault.
Snog is number one, and I still want you to know you're my number one.
I've seen you lot speaking, but I'm your priority.
You were my spark. I've lost that spark.
I personally don't know what clarity looks like to a lot of people, but to me, it's not what has happened before this episode. To me, I need you to be very concise with what you say, and I need you to mean what you say. Because if you telling me one day you cool with me being open, but then the other day you irritated that I'm being open, that's not clarity to me. You can actually tell him what you are looking for from him. You want more attention. You want him to dote after you a bit more. You want him to really prove to everybody, yeah, open or whatnot, Leanne is my, you know, number one. Leanne is my focus. And sure, I could do, well, he kind of did say it too, because he was like, I am focused on us. I do think we could still grow. That's just a side quest. Side quest was poor choice of words, but in one word or another, he's saying you are my priority, right? So finally, she's telling him what she needs from him. He is, I don't know, the ball is in his court. She has said what it is. Yeah. And then also too, let's be honest. She's like, oh, you didn't check up on me. You don't do this. You don't do that. You don't do that. Let's break it down. She said that the speech was too nice. If he were to say something not nice, he also would have gotten flack for that. Let's be so for real. Some people will give dead speeches and they're like, oh, you could have made it nicer. People do that all the time. Okay. Then she says, you shared a bed with her. Not his choice. We haven't seen anybody sleep outside. Everybody's sleeping inside. So, and it might be because of the fires that had happened when the season had started. I'm not quite sure. But the point of the matter is everybody has been staying inside. So I'm just going to assume, babes, he didn't have a choice to go anywhere. He had to sleep next to the girl because she picked him. Okay. Then she was like, oh, you don't come talk to me, whatever. When he does try to talk to you, you get heated or you air him. At that point, what's he supposed to do? Truly, at that point, what's he supposed to do? So I don't think any one person takes more responsibility than the other, but I would love for Leanne to be a bit more introspective. I would. I also don't like that Scott keeps saying, I've done nothing wrong. I do think that he's made some missteps. I don't think it's a matter of doing nothing wrong. There are certain things he could have done better. But from Leanne's point of view, it's as if it's Scott. And I'm like, look within, babes. Look within. And on Discord today, we were talking about why Leanne should want to like hone in on him and all that stuff. At this point, I don't think she should. But realistically, if you have a guard up with somebody, at some point, they're going to decide, you know what? I can't invest in this. I'm going to go somewhere else. And then those same people are going to turn around and say, see, this is why I don't open up with people. You never were open to begin with. This applies to anybody, by the way. It's not Leanne specific. It's just whenever I talk about people's faves, they get offended. To me, this is a show. Everybody is an equal character. Everybody can get it. All right? Everybody. everybody, even your fave. It is hard for me to empathize with people who have a guard up, right? The person decides, you know what, this is too much work. I don't want to get past this guard anymore because they have been trying, if they have been trying, right? And then the person who has the guard up says, see, this is why I don't put my guard down. You never gave it the opportunity to begin with. If you become vulnerable with somebody, and I do think that you can become vulnerable without just bearing your whole soul to somebody. If you aren't vulnerable with someone, and they leave you because you're not vulnerable, you can't then say, this is why I'm not vulnerable. I would prefer you let that wall down a little bit, you let your guard down a little bit, you become a little bit vulnerable, and little by little, if they're giving it to you, you're also giving it to them. It has to be reciprocal. It has to be reciprocal. And if at the end of the day, the person still does you dirty, at least you can look yourself in the mirror and you say, I gave it a good try. We can all admit that that is a big struggle in this generation when it comes to dating. A big, big, big struggle. Big struggle. I ain't been out the dating scene too long. I remember. I was there not too long ago. It's a big problem. And then people will look around like, oh, nobody wants to be real with each other these days. It's everybody. It's the person saying it too. Like, people don't want to let their guard down. And I have to blame production partly because we don't get to see a lot of Leanne and Scott conversations, but truly it doesn't seem like the conversations were that deep anyways. It doesn't. And then she was like, I don't understand how he could be treating me like this after 3 weeks of being together. But if those 3 weeks weren't spent cultivating a deep relationship, then it's just 3 weeks of hanging out. Like, the timeline itself doesn't matter. You see people who've been in 6-year relationships and they're talking about, I never really loved that person. Or people who will be together for a year and they're like, this is the absolute love of my life. Like, I can't imagine life without them. It's not about the duration. It's about what you do with that time. And these two weren't optimizing their time, if you ask me. Anyways, let's move on. Lucinda takes Sammy for a chat. Oh my gosh, the rage baiting. Lucinda is rage bait in human form.
It was a bit of a light-hearted game.
You went full whack, like you meant it. I thought we were on a level, but we're clearly not.
You didn't think that me and Sean would work.
I didn't say that. I never said that to you. I feel like you're acting delusional.
I feel like you've taken this really deeply. I feel like you've got a lot of anger.
You told me it was...
It's fine. I just feel like...
Oh, I've been nice to you since the get-go.
Right, hold on a second, Sammy. Don't really...
You're laughing.
Wait, no,
I can't. I'm not chatting to you when you're laughing. No, mate, you're pissing me off.
I was shocked that Sammy didn't lunge. I was shocked that Sammy didn't lunge at this girl. I was expecting a Bad Girls Club moment right here because you done pissed me off for the last time. And I'm going to shut you up once and for all. I don't promote violence. I don't. It might sound like I am right now, but I'm not, I promise. Lucinda stays playing dumb, which is a big reason why I'm still confused why people take her seriously. This girl is so unserious. She says it herself. She's like, I have the most unserious personality. Me and my friends, like, we joke all the time. Nothing is serious in life. I don't even know why I'm here. So I don't even know why people are taking her seriously. This girl came in for bants. This girl came in for the plot. Stop falling for the okie doke, Sammy, stop. Lucinda loves to get a reaction out of people and Sammy keeps giving it to her. Watch how quickly Lucinda is gonna stop mentioning Sammy whatsoever if Sammy just stops giving her energy. Watch, she's gonna find a new target. She needs that thrill of, oh, I get under your skin. She revels in that. She loves the fact that she can get a reaction out of people. There are so many people like that. And the best way to combat that is literally to shut up. Literally. Give them nothing and watch how quickly their behavior changes. But anyways, tomorrow is movie night and I'm excited because we need so many tapes to be rolled. So many tapes. They're like, this could go so many ways. They could have, what's his name now? Curtis looking like a wet wipe. Lucinda looking like a fraud. Yeah, they could go with the whole Scott thing to see if he was being respectful or if he wasn't being respectful. They could dredge up the whole Sean thing again. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many ways this could go. Anyways, as always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.